Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about how to clean your competition suit. So I recently just cleaned several suits so I could sell them off, and I thought about maybe it would be interesting to share a video with you guys on how to actually clean your suits, because you can't dry clean them and you have to be pretty careful when you actually wash them because they are fragile, you could lose stones, things like that. So I thought I would share with you how I clean my suits. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we get into this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I love having you here. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the first thing you need is, I use a little Tupperware bin. I just got it at the dollar store, but I like to put it in my sink when I'm actually washing the suits. So if anything does fall off, I don't have to dig around for it. And then I just transfer it to the clean side of the sink and give it a quick rinse. But I use the bin to actually wash it. And then I use the ivory soap to wash it in. It's very gentle. It's not going to damage the material or anything like that. And you can buy this at any grocery store. I usually use the white one, but they didn't have any, so I got clear. And then you are obviously going to use a suit. For today's video, I'm using a practice suit because I already cleaned all mine and I didn't want to rewash them again and put them through that stress. So we're going to use this posing suit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out all the padding, both sides, and untie any strings. My regular suits I store untied. I don't leave them all tied up. I don't like what it does to the straps and anything like that. So we're going to untie that. And then since this is a practice suit, it has ties on the side. So we're going to untie those, in theory, and put them in the box. And now we are going to move over to the sink and I'm going to show you how I actually wash them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this bucket in the sink. We're going to run some warm water. You don't want it too hot because you don't want to risk damaging the glue or anything that's holding on. And you're just going to put just a little bit of soap. You don't need a ton. Again, the goal is not to damage anything while we're washing. So now we're going to run some warm water in here and then we'll start washing the suit. Okay, so now we've got some water in the bucket. I'm going to take my watch off. I'm going to take one part at a time. So I'm going to start with the bottom. We're just going to put it in. And if you're washing your real suit with your stones, you're just going to very carefully take your hands and gently rub over, being very careful not to actually mess with the stones too much. So I go all across the outside, over the straps. Again, being careful on your connectors here. Try not to pull too much on any fabric, any connectors. And then I'm going to wash inside. Let me move my camera so I can show you how to clean the inside. I moved my camera so hopefully you can see a little bit better. So you got your suit inside out and you're just going to use your hands, kind of scrub. I don't know if you could use a scrub brush or anything like that, but I don't, just because I'm trying to be very careful of knocking stones off or anything like that. Just because there's not a lot of suds in the water doesn't mean there's soap. You actually don't want too much soap in there, too many suds, because it's going to be really hard to rinse off and it's going to leave a film. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a plug in the side of my sink. And now I'm going to show you how I rinse it. So I'm going to turn on some cool water very gently and turn on my sprayer. I'm going to take my suit out, and I'm going to just gently spray it down. Make sure everything is clean. Alright, so now we're going to do the top. Same thing. Nice warm water. Again, if you're washing a regular suit, don't scrub too hard. You don't want to knock any of your crystals off. Just be gentle. Take your time. Make sure you get the straps. And then we're going to turn it inside out to the area that's actually in contact with the skin. Your connectors, make sure there's nothing funky stuck in them. I like to unbunch everything just to make sure nothing gets stuck in there. Alright, and we're going to pull it out. Same thing. A little bit of cool water. Don't wring out a regular suit. Pretend I didn't do that. Okay, and now that I can look in here and see that nothing's been lost, if you lost any stones during the washing process, they'll be in this bucket where they couldn't have gone anywhere. And if any fall off during the rinse, that's why you put the drain thing in here. You could always use 2 bins. I just don't have 2 bins, so this is how I do it. So now we're going to go lay it out to dry. Alright, as you can see, I've got some towels laid out on my table, and now we're just going to take our suits and lay them out on the towel to dry. Okay, and this is them. Well, this is the one suit all laid out to dry. I don't like to hang them. They get heavy when they're wet, especially if you are actually washing a regular suit with your rhinestones on them. They're going to be heavy when they're wet, so I prefer to lay them out to dry. And in the morning, I will turn them over if they haven't dried completely. And then once they're dry, I put them back in their bags if they're my competition suits, or this one will get hung back up. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. So the biggest thing to take away from this is when you're washing your suit, use a very gentle soap. Don't use super hot water, and just be slow and gentle and very, very careful. Suits obviously cost a lot of money. It's an investment. You don't want to destroy them while trying to get them clean. So I don't know how other people clean their suits, but this is how I clean mine. It works well for me. Seems to do the job. Sometimes your suits, if you have a really saturated color, a little bit of the color will bleed into your water. That's okay. It's normal. Several of mine have done that on the first wash. I had a green one that turned my entire bucket of water this beautiful green shade. So that's normal too. Just be gentle, just be careful. If you have any other questions, you can always contact your suit manufacturer and they can tell you how to clean it. But again, this is how I clean mine. My dog decided this was the time to load up on water. Thank you, Sandy. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment down below how you clean your suit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Goodbye, Candy. Goodbye.